Here's just a review for AP Drawing for how to upload photos and things to your Google site. So I'm in my example Google site now. Your home page should have your name and this copied information from Google Classroom that was found a while ago when I first posted information about updating your Google sites. Just scrolling down quite a bit, I can show you that information. So on the home page, copy and paste this. This is important for you to have because this is talking about how to actually submit your work at the end of the year. So for quality, there's 5 actual works that show concept, composition, execution. They have to fit easily into the portfolio envelope, which is 18 by 24. They actually send that to us. So all work should be backed or mounted, and any work that's smaller than 8 by 10 will be mounted on a backing at least 8 by 10 in order to protect the work. Finally, any or all of the works from quality may come from the breadth and or concentration sections. So you don't have to make new works for that. You can choose 5 from previous portfolios. Now, concentration will be 12 digital images. Some may be detail with in-depth exploration. Remember, it's a sustained investigation. It's encouraged that you document your process of thinking and creativity in your artwork as you go along. So I know a lot of you are starting the concentration section. Please keep that in mind. For the breadth section, a lot of you are finishing that up at this point. We've done 7 or 8 already from the first quarter. So for total, you need 12 digital images, and they need to be 12 different works showing an understanding of a variety of drawing issues. So remember, for the drawing portfolio, it has to be mostly mark making. In some way, you are creating those marks. That can be drawing, painting, that can be etching, printmaking, and it can include digital work if you use a tablet or other form of mark making in a digital format. If you have any questions about the drawing issues part, let me know. We can talk through that. Finally, file formats and sizes. This is important information to have on your homepage. At the end of the year, with these files, we may have to resize your images. So just understanding what those file formats and sizes are, or having a quick reference for those on your homepage, will make it easy for you to very quickly click back and see that. All right, now going back to the most recent thing that I want you to do for the beginning of the second quarter for the update of your Google site. You should have all quarter 1 projects uploaded with materials and dimensions to your Google Drive folders and your Google Sites. Okay, so in your folders, you should have your images in your folder for breadth, or if you've started concentration, having some images in your concentration section to make sure they're in the correct folders. Then what you'll do is you should have 3 projects completed for this quarter. So remember, we're still trying to work at 1 project per week so you don't fall behind. You do not want to be rushing at the end of the school year trying to produce work that you're just not happy with. Making sure you keep with that pace. So far, I just want to let you all know you've been doing a great job keeping up with the pace of the class, the quality of work expected. Keep up that good work, guys. I can't tell you enough how proud I am of you so far. I think you're all going to do great on the final portfolio. And if for some reason your score is lower than any of us expect, just know that I understand you've been doing your best, that you've been doing your best, and that we can't predict what they will do exactly. So just keep that in mind. Keep up the good work. Do your best. So 1 project per week. So we should still have 3 projects for this quarter. Okay. If any of you have begun concentration, that's perfectly acceptable. But you still need to upload these to your concentration section of your Drive folder and your Google site. Okay, so I'm going to show you kind of the point breakdown in this video, and I'll have some images posted to this as well. Okay, if this video takes a little longer, this obviously will be broken up into 2 different videos as I've done in the past. Now, going to your Google site, we'll go to our breadth section. Now, you should, as I said before, have about 7 or 8 different artworks. In my example, I have this work in progress here that maybe was submitted for a grade at quarter 1. Hopefully, if you have anything that's unfinished, you're working on finishing those still, because you will need finished work for the final portfolio. So if you have to use that placeholder, for a grade, that's fine with me, but just know what you have to do by the end of the year for submission. So this is the folder that is from my Google Drive. So I've attached that here. And if you haven't attached your folder yet, then what you can do is double click here and go to From Drive, or you can go to the right side where it says Google Drive from Drive. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. And either way, it should open up these folders here. And you'll just find where your AP Studio Art drawing folder is. And since this is my Brett section, I would click that once and click Insert. Click and drag that blue dot to the right. Have the setting, which is that gear icon, go from List View to Grid View. And click Done. So then you'll see it's the exact same thing that I already had up here. So that's how you put in your folder. Now to make sure that you've got your projects listed here, if you look in here, you'll need the projects, materials, and dimensions. So that's 3 points per project. So I'm going to go ahead and put in project number 1. Okay. And I would prefer if you have the formatting to where it's nice and big, we can see it. So project 1, and then inserting another text box, centering it so we can see it nice and clearly. You can do normal text or subheading. I'm just doing subheading so you can see that it's nice and big, but I won't take off points for that part, okay? As long as you have materials, which would be, I'm going to go ahead and put this, would be my first one I made in chronological order. So that would be 9 by 12. I'm sorry, materials would be marker on paper. Those are the materials I used. And then dimensions. Remember, for dimensions, you always measure the vertical first and then the horizontal. So it's actually 12 by 9. Okay. So 12 by 9 inches. If you're measuring in something else, I do believe that they want you to measure it in inches for the final portfolio. So just make sure that you know how to convert that if you're used to centimeters or some other form of measurement. All right, once you've got your materials and dimensions, so that's 1 point, 2 points, but then I still need my picture, okay? So I can double click here or click images over here, either way, as long as you can get to images, open up your picture that you're putting in for that project. So here's the image I want to put in. I'm going to select that, and I want to make that nice and big, okay? So I can click and drag the blue dots. If it crops your image, remember you can adjust that as needed. So as I adjust this blue dot on the bottom, I'll see more of the top and bottom of this artwork. This is actually an artwork I made in high school. This was just on my own in my sketchbook, something that I was kind of doodling. So I figured it would be a good example to show you in here. All right, so as I'm adjusting it further down, you can see that it's actually starting to crop the left and right. So I'll drag that back up to keep it from cutting those things off. Now, one thing to make sure you guys know, do not sign your work, okay? I put my initials here when I was in high school, but don't sign your work because the judges want to make sure that they don't accidentally know who you are and judge you unfairly. So if they recognize your signature, they have to request for a different set of judges completely to score your work. If you've already signed something, just leave it, okay? They don't want you to damage your artwork trying to erase or change your signature for that. So don't sign your new work and don't worry about signatures on old work, okay? So now I have materials, dimensions, and my artwork is posted. That's it. That's all I have to do, okay? Then make sure you click publish, because if you don't click publish, I won't see any changes that you've made. So there's 1 point, 2 points, and 3 points, and that's it, okay? You do need to make sure you have that for all Q1 projects. So there should be 7 projects from Q1, a minimum of 7 projects, okay? And then in the gradebook, I have put in Brett's Project 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. So that's 5 more projects that you need to finish for this quarter for Brett's section. If you do them out of order, if you go from concentration back and forth and then finish Brett later, that's okay. I've also put in concentration 1, 2, 3, and I believe 4. No, I'm sorry. I believe it's only concentrations 1 through 3. So far, we should have 8 total projects for this quarter. So once again, 1 project per week. Make sure you do this Google site update so I can see what materials, dimensions, and artwork that you are creating. If you have any questions about the Google site update, please ask me in class. And thank you so much for watching.